If it is sacred, we have to talk about it, and necessarily not things that are holy, because not everything holy is sacred, at least within the context of our conversation. Exactly. So, three young men who believe that society needs to hear from us are here to discuss on very intriguing topics that are going to excite you. So, to my left, I have a brother who will introduce himself now, and to my right, I have a senior brother who will introduce himself later. So let's hear from you, bro.
Alright, my name is Ginger. I'm a structural engineer. I do a lot of work online, tech. I also love some activities, drumming and all that. Thank you.
Okay. Over to you, sir.
I'm the guy that we all critical thinkers.
All
So
of us here.
we all critical thinkers. So I love I do anything that gives me money.
He's Google's first son.
Being
Just in case.
Nigerian is a career in itself. So
No, we actually do anything that gives us money legally.
Being in Nigeria is a career. That's punchline. All right. So today, our topic of conversation is the table. I know we've all seen one. I think the video went viral sometime where a girl screamed that she's the table. So we'll be discussing on the concept of I am the table. Okay. So we'd like to give, first of all, before we start, so that we're not just talking as if we don't know what we're saying. We would like to give a defined meaning from Google AI of the query that we gave Google AI is, can a human being be a table in a relationship? And Google AI gave us this answer. So let's hear it.
I should read.
Yes.
Okay, according to Google AI, I read in the context of relationships, being a table metaphorically refers to someone who is seen as an object or a resource to be used.
To be used.
Yes. Rather than a partner with equal standing and contribution. It implies a lack of reciprocity and mutual support, suggesting one person is primarily providing and the other is primarily taking. This can manifest in various ways, such as one partner constantly seeking support without offering it in return, or one partner feeling like they are always expected to fulfill the other's needs without their own being met. And
So now, by definition, if a woman says she's the table, she's implying that she has zero contribution. That is one. Two, she's also implying that she's at the mercy of the other partner, because it defined that you are an object to be used. You're also implying that your partner can go to hell for all you care, kill himself to bring everything to the table to you. Yeah. And you're just a consumer, 100%. So now, the question now is, how is this a valid standpoint for a functional relationship?
All right. So first things first. As much as the answer is straight up, I would have loved to hear from the ladies, because there's something I've noticed over time. When you give a definition to something, most of the time you are coming from somewhere. You hear things like, if you had loved me, you would have done this. My definition of love can be different from yours. So when a lady is saying the table, what does it mean? Which one of the ones I know is, you need me, like you already have me, you don't need any other thing. I am like a motivating factor to you.
Like the man has the lady, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like I, the lady, I'm saying a lady is telling the guy, I as a lady, I am your motivating factor. I mean, because I'm a lady, you should do things. Because I am a lady, nothing added, nothing subtracted. You understand? The few ones I know. But now the thing is that most times we don't really define relationships that we go into, or we define it and lie in the definition. So what I'm saying is that most times, because of the way we are created, no one knows the motive of the other. I think this is where the major problem comes from.
Excuse me, Linda, sorry for cutting you short.
Okay.
So I have kind of understood that the point of view that most of these ladies that have this mindset come from is that they add, if you're a woman, you view the earth as a woman brings life, a woman takes care of things.
Exactly.
So a lady that says this thing literally sees themselves as, okay, I'm going to be the mother of your children. I'm going to have your kids. I'm going to birth your next generation or whatever.
What more else can I give?
Like, if this is not enough for you,
what else do you
what
want?
else do you need? So this is why they see themselves. Because there's no other reason. There's no other valid reason why they do these things. So I just wanted to chip in so that
reason.
there's no other valid. They have reasons, but they are not valid.
They're not valid.
So they just think, okay, if I can have your children,
train them.
What else do you want me to do? I am the table.
Yes.
So
okay, see here.
Yeah.
If we look at what you just said now, and if women are saying, if I can have your children and train them, what else do you want? Can we now, if for 1 minute we are to agree with them, what quality of training would you possibly give? Because if you're bringing wisdom, bringing prudence, bringing intelligence, bringing valuable character traits to the table, I can be sure that my children will come out and not be fooled.
Yeah.
But when you are, let me tell you, a woman who has a good work ethic would most probably transfer it to her children. A woman who is lazy will bet lazy children because she's the one that is going to groom them. She will groom them in laziness. So when we are talking about this thing, and you're saying, if I can bet your children, does it end there? After giving birth to them, being able to give birth is a natural function. You did nothing to be able to give birth. You were born, and everything to give birth came with you. Now, you're now to add some level of wisdom, add level of just other good things.
Now, I will say something regarding what you're saying, but let me just finish what I started. I said that most times we don't know the motive. I'm talking in terms before, while growing up, it was in relationships. Someone comes in just to while away time to find someone serious or somebody that he has been waiting for to come take her away. Well, nowadays we see this in marriage. People marry for reasons that will shock you, and because of the way the world has developed and a lot of things that have been legalized, you see people go into contract marriages. This marriage is for 5 years and whatever. Now, down to what he said, the problem is that most times we don't see that we are the solution to our parents' mistake. Now, my dad told me one certain time, you are the problem to my mistakes. I didn't really give it a thought. He said it 3 times. But I am the solution to his mistakes. So I'm not going to repeat what he did. But when he was saying, he just said, you are the solution to my mistake. He said it 3 times. But I was not in the mood. But when I went back home, I had a wonderful event. They stole my phone, so I had enough time to think. So when I started actually giving that thought, giving ears to that word, I found out that you have to deliberately not make mistakes your parents made. Not general mistakes. I mean, that is pertaining to you. Now,
that's like family pattern kind.
Yes. Now, one certain time I called my dad. I said, thank you for the beating you gave me. I never had problem with the beating he gave me because I had a lot in my head. But I had a problem where the beating was done because it affected my low self-esteem. And we have talked about it. Now, it is left for me as an individual. And this is not only for the guys. We are talking about the male and the female. You have to deliberately look at your life. First of all, your life. Find out the things that we have done that affected you. And say, okay, this I won't do, this I won't do, this I won't do.
So wait now, are you trying to say now, that the way men grew up, the experiences they had, impacts on how they view women. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, of course.
So does it impact on whether a man will accept a woman as just a table and nothing else?
Yes.
And whether a man will ask for more?
Yes. I don't like a household where I can perceive that the atmosphere has changed. Talking about from the house I grew from. I will rather go out by 6 a.m. to fetch water to avoid the shouting and the quarrel that is going on in the house. I'm serious. Like, I will wait till evening. Then once I just hear that, I'll just take gallon and I'm off to go and fetch water. Now, deep within me, I don't want a chaotic woman. I don't want a woman when I'm coming back, she has already quarreled with the neighbors. Do you understand?
So by implication now, because I want us to link it to the topic now. So by implication, if you meet a woman who brings nothing else but this piece, that's to say, this woman has, in fact, she can be dumb.
Okay.
But just because, for some reason, she's not chaotic, you would accept her?
No. That's why I told you, there are things that
I want to draw it down.
There are things we want in marriage, right? This list involves, 1, the way you grew up. Secondly, the work you have done on yourself, working on yourself personally to make sure that what your parents did, the mistakes you feel they did that really affected you. Now, I'm calling it mistakes because it affected you, but in their own time, it was right. The third one has to do with the economy. In the olden days, you give birth to 14, all of you go to farm and come back. Now, farmers have insecurity problems. Now, I will not say because you tick the first box, the rest is useless, right? So, if I'm to say, now with the present economy, I am earning, you should be earning. So that if I'm not able to meet halfway, you can come through for me.
You see, there are a few things that you're saying, okay? Now, for instance, you said that you want to be earning and you want your spouse to be earning, so that if you can't meet up, she'll be able to meet you halfway. Now, this is actually one of the problems we have, because any woman you tell this, they'll tell you that man is lazy. That man is you see ladies say, I can't do a man who does 50-50.
Yeah.
All those things now.
Yes.
So now what we are trying to do now is, because remember when you started talking, you said, let's look at the woman's perspective. Now I want you to validate why your woman should meet you halfway. Validate why your woman should meet you halfway.
Because
financially,
it's a teamwork.
Okay.
We are not in a competition, for Christ's sake. Marriage, if you read in terms of the scriptures, is a teamwork. Yes, roles we are given. But like I told you, the economy has evolved.
So now it's an economic factor.
No, see, there are so many factors to this.
What I'm trying to tell you now is that a woman's goal is to be happy in marriage.
Yeah.
And one of the ways she can define happiness, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
One of the ways this woman has decided to define happiness is that her man brings everything. That is her definition of happiness.
And good. Now, sorry to say, I would say it's not all women that think that way.
We're not talking about all women. We're talking about those. We're trying to attend to those who think this way.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to attend to.
Well, they are not ready. That's what I was just saying. Okay. They are not ready.
We're talking about men or women?
Women who think this way. Who their own definition of happiness is being just that.
This is what we are talking about here. You don't have to. For me, I feel like if you throw this question to a lady, potential wife, or someone you are in a relationship, or you want to go into a relationship, and they give you the answer that they are a thing, or whatever, I think that's a red flag.
It's a red flag from the beginning.
It's a red flag because you could just say, I don't have a business, but this is what I can do. Don't tell me you're a table. You have to bring something. You are not the table. Because I could also claim that I'm a table.
Good.
You don't bring a table to a table. The relationship is the table.
It's a table.
The marriage is the table.
That's what I'm saying. It's a goal.
So what are you bringing to our marriage? If you are going to raise the child, you are not raising the child alone. although people discredit men, somebody put that pregnancy in you that you carried.
Good.
You might think it's nothing, that men don't do anything that it's...
Until you meet an impotent one.
So you get what I'm saying? So I believe this question,
in
summary, this question is supposed to bring out what a lady has to offer in this marriage. If I go into this lifelong whatever
Contract
with you,
yes,
how are you going to reciprocate whatever I'm bringing?
Good.
Because obviously I'm bringing something.
Yeah.
I would like to believe that the man in this question, I would like to use myself as an example. I'm bringing something. Yeah. So what are you bringing as a lady? If you want to tell me you are the table, it means you are going to sit at home because tables don't move. You are going to sit at home and then I go out to bring things to you.
So now,
because even you cannot raise our children alone.
No, yes.
Because kids also need their father.
Yeah.
And I want to raise a family that has that my kids will have a male figure
and a female figure.
Strength.
Yeah. For the guys, actually.
Figure. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So you cannot tell me you are the table. I can also claim I am the table and we look at ourselves.
Now, you just summarized what I wanted to say. The goal is the table. Nobody is the table. As far as you are breathing and you have a choice to walk, and you know good and bad, you are not an animal that is being flogged and coerced to eat even when he doesn't want to eat all. The goal is the table. You are never the table. The marriage is the table. The relationship is the table. The project you are working on is the table. For instance, you are applying for a wedding, right? I'm just using, for instance, you're planning for a wedding. Now, maybe in the African culture, the man has to do a lot of things, right? Yeah. Bring this down. Even if you don't have financial involvement in it,
but you know somebody that does decoration.
You can make work easy. That cooks. You can make work easy. You can go out of your way and say, okay, why are we renting a hall when we can use so place? Be able, I always tell people that are married, be able to release stress of your partner. There are some things your partner should not ask for normally. Now you are preparing for a wedding, fine. Okay, why can't we use one venue as the church wedding and the reception? Do you understand what I'm saying? What we are trying to do is to make sure that this wedding goes well and we don't start with debt in marriage. So that's why I said there's no table. The goal is the table. Marriage, building projects, raising the children. There are so many tables. Unfortunately, one person cannot cover all the whole tables.
So, but look now, if we now look at it now, let's look at it now from the perspective of gender roles.
Okay.
You get now.
Okay.
So now there are women who are willing to contribute up until a particular point.
Okay.
There are men who are willing to contribute so that it doesn't look like we're excluding men up until a particular point. For instance, if we look at child bearing and all of that, it's as though we have wholly left it. Men have wholly left it for women. Okay. Women bear the child. Women not nurse the child, nurture the child. Blah blah blah. Most men seem to be quote unquote absent, whatever. Now, women have also seemed to accept it, but now are accepting it on the grounds that this man is going to bring money and I'm not going to.
You see, that is where it comes from.
If he has left this one for me, I will do this one and that is all I will do. All. Literally stay dormant, inactive, to contributions, other contributions to the family.
The fact that is the prevalent situation of things in relationship doesn't mean it's right.
Okay, can we strike a balance to it now?
It doesn't mean
now the balance is this. It's a teamwork. I don't see.
How do you give me practical example of how to do teamwork in child raising, especially when the child is young?
Child raising.
Yes, raising the child.
Now, most of the time, the child has to be with the mother while still breastfeeding, right? Okay. The mother has less time to rest.
What should the man be doing that time
when she has finished breastfeeding the child? Take the child away and let the woman have some rest. Yeah, for me, I'm specifically what I'm saying is what I would like to do. That's why I say I talk about myself. Now,
you are cut down. No, I'm not heard you. And you should create scenarios like
women claiming to be the table, they get pregnant, you can put in.
Leave the conversation.
They are pregnant, they give birth, they nurse the baby. That's why they claim to be the. I want scenarios.
You said it in the
beginning. Now,
yes.
See, what
you said it in the beginning.
What I'm trying to say is that
Caleb should be throwing the question.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I interject and
there's no.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't call me now.
Then why is that?
Now, one. See, there's no one way of doing things. There has never been a one way of doing things. Reason being that there are factors to everything. A human standing beside you is a factor that you will need to rethink the decision you are taking. Now, down to what you say, teamwork, right? I believe that there are certain works I will not, how short I might not allow my wife to do, depending on the time I have in my hand.
Like what?
Now, laundry. If I'm not able to help her or we wash together, I'll be able to provide a washing machine that can ease the work.
What if you're not able to provide a washing machine?
Then we now see this is you sit down and talk.
You have to do the laundry.
We are trying to narrow it down. I want it practical. What if you can't provide washing machine?
What if I can't get a washing machine? Now, instead of allowing clothes to stack up to days, you can watch interval.
You are washing, or she?
We.
Okay, no, but hold on. You know there's a problem here. You said she will breastfeed and nurse baby blah blah blah. It is up. You would not need we.
No. Wait, no. I didn't finish the part. What I was trying to say is that when she's done breastfeeding, you can take the child away from her and let her sleep.
Okay.
Now, let me also tell you that priorities change in time and ages. There are some things that she normally does when she has not gotten pregnant that she will do without stress. Why? There is no an extra work that is being added to her list, right? Like the baby. Now, taking care of a baby is a tedious job. I've stayed with baby. Sometimes you want to sleep and then they are awake. My point is help your partner out in the most possible way you can.
Okay, wait, Jed, give us practical example of this. Help your partner out, because that's the thing here.
Because your question is centered on when the baby is still an infant.
Yes.
So I believe anything your wife can do at that point, you can do it apart from breastfeeding.
Good.
What else is there in nursing a child? If the child messes himself up, herself up,
you can
clean it up.
Yeah.
Apart from breastfeeding,
which you can't do
because you don't have the resources, the capacity
to do that.
So whatever is needed, and this is a time of sacrifice, mind you.
Yes.
Because you cannot say I work too hard, I cannot do this. Because if you just have a child and you are responsible and you can help it, except for special situations where maybe you are not around us or whatever, something took you out. If you are available and you can afford to be there, you have to sacrifice and be there. Because what loving father doesn't want to be there when their child is still an infant? So that's the sacrifice, I think. And as much as you impute in that moment where most of the idea that we have in our mind is that most of the work has to be done. The African mindset for the woman, that the woman has to do most of the work. As much as you avail yourself in that special time of need, you should also reciprocate by also inputting in some of the things that you do, that you are supposed to do as a traditional man. If she can, to the extent that she can.
Now, this reciprocating now,
is it going to say so? Apart from breastfeeding that you say you cannot do, a lady will hold on that is, in fact, that apart is the table. Now you say it's out of his resources, but a man that has money can actually pay for a wet nurse. A man that has money can pay for baby formulas. There are baby formulas that have been produced now that you can give to a day-old child, that has just been given birth. So let's hear something. Caleb, I throw that something question.
The problem is that.
So let
him just respond.
And when I talked about breastfeeding, you know, these days we have other devices and things that we used to breastfeed. So it doesn't even have to be. What I meant was, apart from suckling directly from your breast as a woman, because women pump these days. Women pump milk, so you can also feed the child. So I just wanted to add that.
Okay, so now, Siba, what we are trying to achieve here now is to create some kind of valid balance between what a woman is bringing to the marriage, what a man is bringing. Okay, are there absolutes? Are there things that should be non-negotiables? That
only one partner has to bring?
Yes. Are there things like that? So that's what I want to know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, honestly.
Because marriages, I learned that relationships are, it's not even 50-50, it's 100-100. You give your all and the person gives his all, his or her all. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So you don't say because my wife is supposed to cook, and maybe my wife is not available, maybe something is keeping her, I will not cook because it is my wife's duty. No. And vice versa, maybe. Okay. So there are no absolutes. That's why I said the only thing you can do is breastfeed the baby directly from your chest. I won't say breast. So that's the only thing you cannot, and that's because physically you cannot do it. Yeah. Not because you are not willing to do it.
Because they give you the breast, you can.
What I'm saying.
What is okay, so now let's now flip that now. From a woman to a man. Yeah. You said there's nothing, there are no absolutes, right?
They're not absolute.
So
if you people want to achieve the goal, they are not absolute.
Okay. So are you saying now that if a man, because I'm asking these questions from social media and
yes.
If a man falls short in providing, okay. Before I ask that question, do we agree in the concept of a man is meant to provide and protect? Is that a valid statement?
Yes.
It's a valid statement. So isn't that an exclusive?
I don't think it is.
If the statement is valid, isn't it because if it's valid, it has to be an exclusive.
A man has to provide and protect.
Okay.
I think the statement stands on the fact that logically men are stronger.
Which makes an exclusive. That's the point I'm getting to.
No, I get what you are saying. What I'm saying is it's not an exclusive because the statement did not say that women cannot provide. But the men, okay, you know, it's just like, let me use football. The fact that you have a striker in your team, they know he's a striker, he scores goal, does not mean that you cannot score goal.
That a defender can score a goal.
Because that's what teamwork is.
Okay.
And the fact that you are even a goal scorer does not mean you cannot defend.
Okay. Let me use this thing now. I'm painting my own scenario now. Yeah. So now, I believe in certain, should I call it exclusives? I believe that there are things a man should do. I believe there are things a woman should do. But considering the fact that marriage is teamwork, I believe that nobody should see his or her partner failing in his or her own side and not help, or struggling to deliver his or her own things and not help. So now, just like you gave teamwork, football team, a striker is bought. The primary goal of the striker is to score goals.
Yes.
The primary goal of a defender is to defend. Now, if a striker doesn't score, the striker will be dragged. If a defender does not score, the defender will not be dragged.
But if he allows the goal enter the net, he'll be dragged.
No, if he doesn't defend well, if he's shooting at his defense, he'll be dragged. So now, have you said that by that definition, there are exclusives? The only thing here is that the defender or striker is not tied down, bound to only, that's to say, even if there's problem in defense, you don't run back. No. But what it is expected of you to do is score goals. What is expected of defenders to defend? Which means if you don't score, the team will have a problem. The team will bash you. The team will say you're not delivering. If the defender doesn't defend, the team will also do the same to the defender. Does not mean they can't switch. So likewise, if men don't protect and provide, not that women cannot, but I think at that point, women now have some kind of valid grounds to bash men.
Of course they do.
Good. So if men have agreed that women can bash us when we don't protect and provide, What is women's own exclusive? Because that's where the problem is. I don't know what the exclusive is.
That's where the problem
I don't
is.
know what
Because as a man, as a man,
Yeah.
I have an ego. The ego that makes me a man.
Okay.
And if I can't provide, I will not go and say maybe I'm the table. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the table. I don't need to go and provide. Because this is the mindset. Because, you know, we are speaking from the point of view of men that don't like this particular statement of someone being the table.
Yes. Yes.
Because you could as well have said it. You could have said, as well have made that statement, we are the table. But we are not.
We know
Because
we are not.
we as a responsible man, you know your responsibility. You know what you are supposed to do.
Yeah.
A woman is supposed to know that she's supposed to do something. It's just like you said. The primary goal why a team signs a striker is to score goals.
Yes.
Is to score goals.
Primary goal.
If you come and start defending, you have issues.
That's not what they call it today.
Because we have defenders.
Yeah.
You get.
But
But
that
it doesn't
does
mean
not
that
mean
you cannot defend.
when your team is at risk.
You get. But
Doesn't
a
matter.
woman that says she is the table is like saying she is a defender. And you give her a tapping, she will not score.
So even if you give her a tapping,
She will not score.
I'm not scoring this goal.
It's not her job to score goals. So it doesn't make sense. And for the team, it will affect it. In this context, the marriage or the relationship,
Okay.
we have issues.
So I think in our next conversation, we're going to be addressing some of the issues around compatibility. How is it that most men can be with women who do nothing and all of that? Most men don't. How is it that there are women who are supportive? Like you see, there are women who are very supportive. Yeah. Like their husband is doing business, they will be the ones to even go to the shop. They're the ones looking at the books. They're the ones who are making sure that the husband's boys are not stealing. There are women who are doing all of that. Now, there are also women who feel that, oh, if he goes to the shop or business, he can handle himself. He should do his thing, and all of that. So you see that there's now difference between preference, compatibility, and all of that. So in our next conversation, we're going to be doing that. Yeah, it still remains sacred truth. See you next time.